You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this week's show, we're talking about socks, circus monkeys, and how to deal with the adultitis-ridden people in your life.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. This episode is brought to you by people like Sarah Mers, Doreen Preciosun, and Jill Tarrant. Their membership in the Wonder and Whimsy Society supports us in this work to fight adultitis. Thank you.
Yes, if you'd like to annihilate the adultitis in your life, learn more about the Wonder and Whimsy Society, or be the first to know about our newest offerings, become an insider. What are you waiting for? Right?
I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for.
If you're like, what's an insider? Oh, no, welcome. So please join us at escapeadulthood.com/insider. Number one thing about that is the Sunday morning emails. Yeah. Right? Sometimes I've been getting up so early for the sunrise. I beat you. If I check my email before that, I'm up
That's
before
impressive.
your insider.
That's
I know.
Impressive.
Yeah.
That comes at 5:30 Central Time. So yeah.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Well, we're talking a little bit about circuses today, and so we've got some interesting. We were asking everyone at the beginning, what's your favorite part of the circus, and we've got the food, answers. The elephants.
Before you go, if you had a little confusion about our show tonight, it wasn't just you. For some reason, when we went to post and go live, it posted for Jason instead of Escape Adulthood. So we caught it and then it fixed. But if you're like, what was
Went
weird
to my
tonight?
personal page.
If it was kind of confusing at the start, we apologize for that. Yeah, so what do we got?
I had to log into Facebook and everything this afternoon to get everything set up. So that's probably where the confusion happened. But that's what live is all about. You just never know what's happening. What kind of
favorite things are about the circus and our true?
Well, Jen is just equal opportunity, loves the fun food.
Cotton candy.
Sharon is all about the gypsy fortune teller.
Nice. That's always fun.
Lisa likes the elephants.
Yes. Right. They always do some interesting things with elephants in the circus.
Elsa's the fire. Just the fire.
Interesting.
How about popcorn and peanuts in the shell?
Yes. That's also one of my favorite things about baseball games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sabrina has never been to the circus. Well, that's a shame.
Well, I mean, maybe it's one of those things. Maybe it's overhyped.
Well, they're dying too.
I know.
The circuses aren't as common.
You had
of course,
really
the animal acts are. They're
controversial.
Treating the animals better these days, so that's not. But
I think there's more.
We went to Cirque. We mentioned that last week.
We did go to Cirque.
It's like a whole different version of a circus,
right?
That's for sure.
We went to a cool circus with Ro a couple of years ago. That
the Bernardo's Circus, which is a very homegrown kind of thing, but they travel all over. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to see them, but yeah, that was kind of like an old school big top, and no animals. But a lot of really cool acts, which was a lot of fun, and it was like smaller, so you're close to the action, and
people did multiple things,
fun. Which
is kind of neat. It kind of had that family atmosphere. It was just a date night that him and Ro went on. But Brian, good to see you tonight. Brian says trapeze, and that was definitely part of the Cirque show we went to. Holy cow! Indeed. Your head's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally am with you, Walt. I'm assuming that's Walt with Linda there. On the circus dogs.
We saw
some really fun circus dogs one time. That was hilarious.
The underrated circus performers.
I know.
The circus dogs, right?
They always have some cute little skirts on or something. Don't they?
Tutus?
Yeah, tutus, yes. All right, we have a really cool show tonight. I think that this is going to be relevant for every single person here because, let's face it, adultitis is everywhere.
It's rampant.
And so our topic tonight...
nightmare.
Yeah. Our topic tonight is how to deal with the adultitis-ridden people in your life. And it's...
Have you ever met any adultitis-ridden people?
I have to say, let's have a moment of honesty here. Our summit is less than 2 weeks away. We are fighting adultitis hard because that's how it works, you guys, especially when you're getting ready to go on vacation or take a break or do something for self-care, adultitis is mad, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Everything goes wrong. The lawnmower stopped working. Like, let's list it, right? Everything starts going wrong.
My computer monitor stopped working today. It was,
right?
It's a little crazy balls. But, I think back in my life, one group is like almost like a group. And I think a lot of people maybe can relate to the work environment of adultitis. And when I was a teenager, I worked at a car dealership. And the majority of the mechanics there had a very serious case of adultitis. They were just so grumpy and hated their job. It seemed like they hated being there. And it was just sort of this like cancer.
Poison, right.
And it was one of my very first experiences in working with people. I had done smaller things before that, but I think for me, one of the things I did was used it as fuel. I remember thinking like, these guys are grown men. This is their job. Theoretically, you should like working in cars if you're here. And apparently they didn't. Yeah. And I was like, no matter what it takes, I am going to do what I love with my life, no matter how long it takes, how hard it is. And so for me, I kind of used it in that situation as fuel, but it certainly was something I also kind of had to ignore, right?
Right. Well, that is the one strategy, right? And that's what we're going to be kind of hashing through with you guys tonight. What is your strategy? What are your strategies to deal with this? What are the tools in your tool belt? Because I think my instinct is to just leave them alone and to not try to convert anybody. Honestly, you would think maybe differently about us, but I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough.
It's kind of one of the only things you can do.
Right.
So.
But there are some different strategies, and we have some tips from some fellow Adultitis Fighters tonight to share of what they do to, deal with the Adultitis-ridden people in your life. So a really relevant show tonight. For sure. And by the way, Heather Smart, your favorite thing about the circus is Hugh Jackman. I love it.
No comment. But yeah, we're going to go deep into adultitis fighting tonight, especially dealing with the adultitis-ridden people around us. But first, we have to have a word from our sponsor.
Yes.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
All right, I wanted to share one of the newest things that we have. This is a steel, speaking of adultitis fighting, right? A steel water bottle, Adultitis Fighter. First of all, I'm in love with this new graphic.
I know.
I think a couple weeks ago I wore a t-shirt with this on it. Little lightning bolt, that little just kind of thing. And then on the back, it's got the Escape Adulthood logo. And
you should have seen it. You weren't there when I pulled these out of the box. So we're getting tons of boxes every day for like the last 3 weeks because of the summit, all the goodie bag stuff, all the stuff's coming in. So every time a box comes, the kids gather around. It's like the circus every day.
What's new? Yep.
So when I pulled these out, it was like a cheer. All the kids were like, oh, I love it. So isn't that funny? We got some big fans here.
It's pretty sweet. And we have also 93% Weird is another design that we have on the store. And we will have some of these in person at the summit. We always like to have a few little goodies there as well. So yeah, just wanted to point that out.
Other thing that went on there.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay.
So if you're in need of a water bottle, you can't. This is a good one.
It just is,
and it's a good reminder. It's like a good conversation piece of like Adultitis Fighter.
Which, by the way, I just said this to a client, and maybe you haven't heard us say this, but if you have, I apologize. This idea of using the word adultitis is one of those powerful things because most people have maybe not heard of it, but it's a puzzle. And as soon as they kind of hear it, their mind starts working. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they want to kind of figure it out. And it really doesn't take long because itis is a very common ending to words that mean the swelling of. So the concept of like, ooh, too much, right? Too much adultitis. But it's a fun little puzzle. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of those things that when you have that on your water bottle and somebody's sitting next to you, like, Adultitis Fighter, what is that?
Might be the open to the conversation, right? Well,
I'm just trying not to take myself too seriously, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of my follow-up line with that.
And if you're watching this, I have especially if you're a regular watcher, I have a feeling you probably have something in your closet or on your desk that is already something from our lemonade stand that, again, is a perfect entry to a discussion to open the door for people who might be curious about
Steve Arnold is wearing a Duck Duck Goose shirt today.
Ooh, that's kind of
that's old school.
Yeah.
I love that design though. That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like the it's wearable art,
right?
AKA other people call it t-shirts, but art collectors call it wearable art.
Yes,
I love that. All right, well let's go deeper into this concept of dealing with the adultitis-ridden people in our life and what we can actually do about it.
If you know someone who might need this, you might want to push that button. That's all I'm saying.
Let them know. Spread the word.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Since 94% of the population suffers from at least a mild form of adultitis, odds are that anyone with a job has to work with someone infected with this vile disease. Maybe it's a coworker or a client. Sometimes the people I chat with after my speaking programs will confess to being married to someone with a full-blown case of adultitis. So the question, of course, is how do I fix someone who has it? Well, unfortunately, the truth is you don't. So I'm a professional speaker, and most speakers I know started their careers with the hope of making a difference and changing lives. I certainly did. If you do it long enough, though, you'll likely come across this uplifting statistic that informs you that your audience will probably forget almost everything you said the minute they walk out the door. Eventually, you will realize that you do not have any power whatsoever to change someone's life. Entertain? Sure. Inspire? Maybe. But change? That's up to them, not you. Newsflash. This handy rule also applies to husbands, wives, parents, and teachers who may be watching. It's hard not to feel like you're a professional exerciser in futility sometimes. The thing is, the more quickly you accept this reality, the better speaker you become. When you're not worried about whether you will get a standing ovation, or about the lady who ducked out the back, or about the guy in the front row with crossed arms who seems like he'd rather be shaving rabid goats with a broken razor, you'll be more likely to focus on being your authentic, true self, allowing your message to land where it will. And then you might make some sort of difference for someone. Now, you might not make your living from being on stage, but wherever you work, the principle is the same. When you're dealing with people who have adultitis, there's only so much you can do. Here are 3 things. 1, be a good example. Take yourself lightly. Live your life cheerfully, with humor and joyful anticipation. In the best case scenario, people will see and be inspired by your approach to life, and a little of that might just rub off on them. Maybe they'll even ask for your secret, and then you can help them on the road to recovery. Number 2, send kindness. If your example alone doesn't make a dent, you should put their office supplies or car keys into Jell-O molds. Just kidding. Not really. But do keep in mind that everyone is fighting a hard battle. Maybe they're tired from working overtime to pay for insurance. Maybe their dog just died. Maybe you could try sending them flowers or a box of cookies because maybe they just need someone to notice them and be kind to them. And number 3, limit exposure. If you're still running into a brick wall of adultitis with someone, your only other option is to ignore those people and do your best to limit your exposure to them. You don't have to be mean about it. You just have to be intentional. Depending on the relationship, you might actually consider deleting them from your life. Harsh, I know, but life is too short to have the joy sucked out of you by someone with advanced adultitis. Whoa, buddy, you might be thinking, that's a little extreme, and it's not exactly going to work. This is my spouse you're talking about, or I can't exactly fire my idiot boss. Well, if extracting yourself from the situation is not an option, you should make it a priority to surround yourself with people who are relatively adultitis-free. These relationships will help bolster your energy levels and serve as a force field against the adultitis-ridden zombies in your life. Isn't it an ideal situation? No, but it's reality. Yes, you can grumble about the things you can't control and complain about the mess the people in charge have made. You can throw your hands up and declare that there's nothing you can do about it. It may actually be true that there's things you have no power to change, but that does not let you off the hook. You are the ringmaster of your circus and your monkeys. Focus on the things you can control. your attitude, your actions, and the people you choose to spend most of your time with. Let go of the things you can't control. You may not be able to make someone change, but it's always possible to make a difference. If you're disappointed or frustrated by how your spouse, your job, your boss, or your kids, you always have the option of waiting for them to improve. Or you can instigate a small rebellion and spark a magical turnaround by changing the way you look at them and the way you act around them. Just don't be surprised if what changes is you.
I have to say, those 3 steps, the one with Will Ferrell, which who didn't smile? By the way, if you didn't smile when you saw Elf in Will
Ferrell, sign of adultitis, right?
That's a little test for you, right? So the idea of being joyful, being playful, being a good example, right? That kind of reminds me, those 3 things remind me of the stages of grief where they're very predictable and you usually go in order. Mm-hmm. What you described is what order I usually take. Yeah, personally.
You try.
Right. You would just be a good example. Yep. And I can remember exactly, there was a janitor when I was teaching. And there was some serious adultitis there. Okay. And let's be honest, not an easy job.
You mean you wouldn't love cleaning up puke and putting sawdust on puke all day long?
Elementary school, we had a preschool in the school. It was a lot, right? I totally get it. So yeah, being cheerful, being an example, right? Just being kind. Number 2, like lovingly kind on purpose, right? And that's what I try to do. How you doing? How's your day been? Da da da. And then honestly, I just got to number 3 where I'm like, I can't break you. I can't break through this, And so I continue to be kind, but I didn't go out of my way after a while to surround myself with that person. Because it's just toxic.
Yeah.
Right? And so the kindness didn't end. But you just kind of put yourself in position to not really spend much time with that person.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think one of the things we found is that there are a lot of people out there, maybe you watching, who sometimes feels like you're on an island because you're the only one around who has the sort of childlike spark that you foster and hold on to. And it feels kind of lonely. And it's like if I were to divorce myself from everyone around who had adultitis, I'd be alone. Right. And that's exactly why we have the Escape Adulthood League.
Right.
That's exactly why we formed the Wonder and Whimsy Society, is for like-minded people to connect and collaborate. It's sort of like your chosen family in a way. And I think that's one of the biggest values that a lot of people get out of being around here, is just that community, to realize that you're not alone. And I think we do get in those situations where we just can't always delete people out of your life because they're so entrenched for whatever reason. But if we can kind of offset it by a whole army of cool people, right? Merry band of Adultitis Fighters in your corner, that can then fill you up to go back at the other people with kindness, right?
Let's pull up Paul's comment. Paul, you're bringing up a very, very good point. That I would love to get your opinion on off the top of your head. Being cheerful, playful, and caring is often seen as unprofessional. Mm-hmm. Now, I had the advantage of being a kindergarten teacher. So if I'm not cheerful, caring, and playful, I'm out of a job, right? Like that's a requirement of working with young children. But what about, and I know some of the jobs you've shared with me, Paul, and I'm not going to, share, I don't know if it's like HIPAA for work, I'm not going to say what jobs you've had, for your own privacy, but there is more serious work that people do that sometimes being that playful self that you truly are can come off wrong.
Yeah, well, I remember, was it a mastermind we did with Wonder and Whimsy Society? I think we shared it on the show, actually. Kristen Haney, who's a member of Wonder and Whimsy Society, is a part of she works at a manufacturer, a factory where, you can't be jerking around at on the floor. There's safety protocols and things like that. Mm-hmm. But she basically sets up her office as sort of like an oasis of fun. So she has fun things hanging on the bulletin board and pictures and things that invite people to have conversations and stuff like that. It's kind of a way, again, it really is like an oasis of anti-adultitisness at a fairly serious work environment. But I also think there's This is not about wearing Bozo the Clown shoes and riding a unicycle down the hallway at work, right? It can be very, very subtle.
Yeah.
A frickin' smile can go a long way. I think of a banker that we've worked with, a dear friend, in his office. Now, when we first met him, he was the vice president of the bank. So not much more serious you can get than that, right?
He was not a casual, like he didn't appear casual.
Yeah,
right?
But in his office, he had this really beautiful painting that at first glance looked like a landscape, just like this little pond and a dock. But if you look closer, you see on the edge of the dock was, I believe, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet sitting there, just like really small, kind of painted into the scene.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like a little way for him to kind of share his childlike spirit, and then of course opens up opportunities for conversation if people notice it and mention about it. I went to the doctor today. Yay, that's fun. First, had to find a new doctor here in Sheboygan. And I had found out online that as we were, researching who should we go with and
which is a fun process.
Who looks good?
Let me tell you, there's no adultitis in that.
I don't know who's good, but I happened to see that this guy that Ben and I went to today is actually a drummer in a band, and so I asked him about it. Oh man, you should have seen him light up talking about it, and we were talking about the Paul McCartney documentary that's on Hulu right now,
which is super good. If you
and
haven't
he was like
yet.
super into hearing about that. So again, one way to still be professional is to ask people about their passions, what they're interested in outside of work. And that's another good way to kind of to break the ice. So
Brian said it's kind of up there now, but he said that he's the only happy, funny, kind and optimistic person at work.
Yeah,
so,
you are not alone, Brian. That is a hard road to hoe. And I think in general, I would try to make baby steps to try to get into a new environment. And of course, that's not always possible. But that's where I think then you need to surround yourself with other
come to next year's
people.
summit, Brian. And honestly, that's why we built this community, to be able to be that for each other. So, my coworker, it's hard. I can relate to that, Brian.
Lame.
No, but seriously, I think there's a lot of compassion and empathy for sharing your honest kind of perspective on that. And even in Paul, I appreciate your honesty with that, because it's not as clear cut as being like, and Walt said, kill him with kindness. And I think that these are things we hear, right? And it's not as easy as it always sounds. So that's why we're talking about it tonight, honestly.
Well, and my dad that is a thing he says a lot, kill him with kindness. And the thing that my dad does well is he turns it into a game. I think sometimes when you try to be kind to someone and they don't reciprocate, it almost burns you out more. But he almost takes that as more of a challenge, and it's it almost fires him up more of I'm gonna crack you, right? I'm gonna break you with kindness. And I don't know if that's just part of his personality or what.
I think he's just really persistent, because I've also tried to do that and it broke me. Okay. Yeah. So it's I don't know what it is about Walt, but you guys who are on the masterminds, you feel this from Walt for Wonder and Whimsy Society. He just has this eternal optimism, right? The Be Optimistic pins that he's known for. There is a trait of that is a gift. So that's a big one. Good
one here from Pam. Hi, Pam. It's fun to pass and catch smiles. Smile and see how many people smile back. I've been doing this since I was 3. And that's a good point. And that is, frankly, one of the worst parts about the lockdowns and the COVID and the masks.
Is missing the smiles.
Obviously, a case can be made that the masks helped slow the spread, but it also, I think, robbed us of some of our humanity. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things about seeing people's real smiles. And you could kind of tell when they were smiling, their eyes is kind of a cool thing.
But I think it gave people an excuse not to make eye contact anymore. If you were at the grocery store or doing something at the gas station, people didn't even look up anymore. So I think we're slowly getting out of that with the, mask-free opportunities. So anyway, that's
also, Elle points out next. I don't remember if it's Monday or Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday.
In the comments, Elle.
Next week, the Wonder and Whimsy Society, we're having a Wonder Workshop, which Elle is hosting her second of a 3-part series on having more whimsy at work. And she's got a lot of experience with that. So if you are in the Wonder and Whimsy Society, be sure to check that out because, again, that's going to be a treasure trove of information.
Is it safe to say Elle is the queen of whimsy at work?
She's pretty good. I think Julie Brown is another one. She's I don't know if she's on here tonight, but she's...
By the way, Julie Brown and Elle are coming to the summit, so you guys need to meet each other in person, like for reals, right? I know. This is happening.
It's crazy.
I know. It's crazy fun. All right. So this is a great conversation.
I think it's a good one. Hopefully we brought some good things to think about and we can keep this conversation going.
I think it's time to draw.
Let's draw. All right, you guys, let's have some fun tonight. We're gonna do a little drawing here, as we do. If you've never joined us before for this, we encourage you to join us, draw along with us. All you have to do is just get a piece of paper, the back of an envelope, a pen, pencil.
All this talk of adultitis makes me want to say, if you've watched this more than 3 times and you have not tried to ever draw it, you might have adultitis. I hate judging you. I hate judging you. It's more of an observation. It's not judgment. I'm just saying that could be a thing. So literally grab something right now and just try it. You don't even have to email it to us. Just do it for yourself, right?
Just for yourself. Yeah. No one has to see it. It's all good. All right.
Does that mean?
No, I think that's a good point.
Okay.
I think that's a good point. That was, a good point of that is when we're all 5 years old and you ask is anyone in here an artist?
Yeah.
Everyone raises their hand.
Right.
If you're in high school and you ask the same question, a fraction of the people have their hand up. And here's what I think happens is when we get older, we add words to that question. So we hear, is anyone in here an artist? Does anyone here draw? And what we hear is anyone in here a good artist? You
add good without it even being there.
And so if you don't think you're a good artist, you don't raise your hand. But that doesn't make you not an artist, right? And so I think we need to let go of that idea of that we have to be good at something, especially if we're just starting. So let us begin here. Now the first step is going to be kind of an interesting sideways S shape. All right, so I'm going to draw it, and then you can kind of mimic me here. All right, so that's probably the most complicated part of this drawing tonight, and doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just sort of a it's a sideways skinny S, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks like the S hook I bought for our plants the other day.
Yeah, there you go. So now we're going to we're going to start on this end, and we're going to draw a little line, and we're going to go to about here. We're not going to go all the way. All of a sudden, it kind of reminds me of a Nike swoosh, right? And then we're going to connect it on this side. We're going to leave a space in the middle and kind of do the same thing on this side, okay?
Got some good guesses coming in already.
Yep, it should figure it out pretty quickly. Okay, now we're going to draw a couple lines down like this. Now it's almost starting to look like the pi symbol.
Yeah.
You see that?
By the way, Kate Bartell said this is her first time drawing tonight.
All right.
Yay! That's awesome. Good for you. Victory. Victory.
There we go. That's for you, Kate. All right, now we're going to draw... here we go. Bump outs.
Bump outs. I wish there was ability to have a word that pops up. The technology would be bump outs. Colon.
Yeah. Again, we
a small bump that goes
I try to
out.
avoid the technical terminology, but sometimes you just have to put it out there. A bump out. And then we're going to do one on this side too. 2 bump outs. All right. Then we're going to do a line. A little curved line like that. Got it. And then another one on the other side. Okay.
I think people are getting it.
People are figuring it out. Yep. It's good. All right. Now we're going to draw a line from diagonal up like there. And then we will do the same thing again on the other side. All right. Now we're going to connect those 2 lines, close that loop, and you can start to see what we got going on here for sure. We've got a it's like a fancy pie sign. Got a little wiggly at the bottom, right?
Right.
All right, now we're going to draw an oval at the top. And this is, as we're drawing a monkey here.
Oh, it is.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay, draw a little oval at the top. And then we'll put some ears in there. And I like to make my ears kind of big.
Cute.
Monkey.
Mm-hmm. Pam says this would be a great brain break in her classroom.
And
the good news, Pam, is that there are how many?
Well, this will be number 60, I think.
So we have 60 Let's Draw segments on our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/escapeadulthood, there is a playlist called Let's Draw, and there's 60, which is exciting.
All right, now I'm going to draw a little face in here. And put some eyes in here. And this is kind of fun. You can play around with however you want your little monkey to look. Put a little smile there and a little nose up here.
Aww.
And I love drawing my little monkey with a little curl on the top.
Oh, that's so cute.
Just to make him freaking adorable. So that's how I roll. Okay, then underneath that, we're going to draw an oval.
Oh, he's jumping up? No. What's going on? A shadow?
And then we're going to draw a line down.
Oh.
Line down, like that.
I got stumped on that one.
And then a couple lines in the middle here. And this is our little barrel, right?
Which someone mentioned that. A barrel,
right?
a barrel, Jennifer, a barrel full of them.
And this is going to be fun, too. Then we'll draw a little line up at the top. And we're going to draw the little pennants, little flags. And so those are just like some V's. Just do a series.
I'm a big fan of pennants.
Yeah, it's very whimsical.
It is. Put a couple pom-poms on the bottom of each of those triangles.
Oh, it's whimsy fest. Ridiculous. Out of control. All right, then I'm gonna draw some stuff in here. What kind of got any comments popping up here?
Well, Stephen wondered if he was going to be levitating. I was kind of right there with you, Stephen. So
technically he is.
Yes,
he just doesn't have a shadow. He's got this. He's above.
I'm not sure what this means, but maybe you do because you have more cultural knowledge than I do, and sometimes. But Paul says I'm picturing a Keith Haring.
Oh yeah. Keith Haring is a pop artist.
Okay.
I think he was in the 80s. He's no longer with us, but he did if you saw his art, you'd recognize it. He did a lot of series of kind of little whimsical little dudes. Huh. Yeah, it was very graphical.
What kind of work was it on? Was it on products?
Or was it he was they did a lot of licensing with his stuff. He's a fine artist, but his stuff ended up being licensed on a lot of different things because it was very whimsical. Okay. And pretty cool.
Nice. Interesting. And Elle says it's like a ninja monkey. That's cute. That was weird. It went full screen there for a minute.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that was strange. Interesting. Oh, Jennifer knows Keith Haring too. I gotta look him up.
Yeah.
Man.
And then we'll let's see. I'm gonna bring in some yellow.
And Jenna drops the link, herring.com.
There you go.
There you go. Now y'all can check it out, right?
That's what Jenna. She's
she's on it.
You've heard of Jenna or Johnny on the spot? She's Jenna on the spot.
Yeah, that's good. That'd be a good T-shirt for her, right? I know, Stephen. I saw that. The drawing kind of disappeared for a minute, but I'm assuming it's back and you're seeing what we're seeing. Yes, it's back. So.
All right, so there's our little guy. Now we'll do a couple little details, and this may or may not work depending on what you're using as your app. Then this is, of course, Procreate. People ask about that all the time. So if I'm looking at adding a little bit more of a plastic feel, I'll pick one side, and I'll imagine the light coming from one side, and I'll kind of draw lighter little spots where the light would be hitting. So basically everything on the right side here.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of play that little mind game of where would the light be hitting. And then you can do the opposite, where if you get a darker color and do the opposite side, and what works really good about this is because these little monkeys are pretty shallow, right? They're really not very voluminous.
Yeah.
That's the right word. Mm-hmm. And so just doing this little touch gives you that feel of like they're almost flat, but they are 3-dimensional.
Wow, that does add a lot.
Right? Just a little.
Yeah, I like that.
Just those little bits.
That's cool.
And then we'll throw in a little motion.
Oh, yes.
So we'll kind of add some little motion lines here so that this guy is having a party.
I love him.
All
and
right.
Christy Ward, who works with 4 and 5-year-olds, says, or the 4 and 5-year-old class does a Keith Haring project each year, and one kid poses a velociraptor.
That's pretty cool. All right. Well, if you guys, if you drew this, we would love to see it. We do not pass any judgment. Even if it's the worst drawing in the world, it makes me so happy when someone shares it because it reminds me of a little kid putting it on the kitchen refrigerator in the kitchen.
And what really is the worst drawing in the world, right? It's
I've yet to find one.
I know.
I've yet
exactly.
to see one. We get all
we
kinds of different drawings. So send it to kj@escapeadulthood.com. We would love to see it. And speaking of which, there you go. There's the email, kj@escapeadulthood.com.
Yes. Oh, Steven.
We got some cool ones.
This one you combined some. That's what I love about Steven. He has access to all of Jason's work in his head, and he combines the macaroon suck up cow art with the Stonehenge. Come on, Steven.
Pretty rad. Then Jennifer Tackett, she's always got a fun spin on things. She made dessert. She made Stonehenge into a little dessert.
Wonder Marty's serving them up, right?
Pretty good.
Adorable.
Tracy has got her little ice cream sandwiches there, and
little panda sticker peeking out there, photobomb.
Yep. Looks like she's got her little Tinker journal there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yes.
And then, last but not least, for this week is Martha Henderson.
Martha!
Holding hands, levitating. I'm in love with this little drawing.
This one, I want this on a t-shirt, Martha. I really do. How they have their little hands together.
Speaking of Martha, she points out self-judgment on drawing equals adultitis.
Yes,
right? So we're talking about how do you get rid of the adultitis-ridden people in your life and deal with them. One of the first things you need to do is look in the mirror and realize if you're judging yourself on freaking drawing, I mean, come on. That's the first step that you may have some adultitis.
Oh, I love that one so much, Martha.
Pretty good. So please send your creation to kj@escapeadulthood.com. Maybe it'll show up on next week's show. We'll see. All right, I thought this was a pretty good meme of the week. It's not exactly funny. It's kind of funny, but it's also, it hits you.
Ouch.
Don't blame a clown acting like a clown. Ask yourself why you keep going to the circus.
That one hurts a little bit.
It does. Ouch.
A little too close to home.
Sometimes we have to admit that we kind of like the drama, and we like complaining about things, and we like to be caught up in some of that stuff, and it's not always very healthy. So I'm frankly sometimes I am on Twitter. You know, it's kind of one of the. Sometimes I do it for fun. Sometimes I do it to follow the news. Sometimes whatever. And if I go too deep into it, it gets bad. Mm-hmm. And it's exactly like I can be sitting on here and be like, these guys are idiots. What are you thinking? What's going on? And it's like this exactly. I can be blaming them for being clowns, and I gotta wonder why do I keep coming back there. Right. So it's a. I thought this was a poignant one for us all to consider. Yes, exactly. On a little bit of a lighter note, Helen says I go because it pays the bills. Yeah.
Well, there's that. I know.
So.
Right.
I also wanted to point out, I got this really cool email from Linda Todd a few weeks ago.
Oh.
She is the owner of the Celebrate Everything calendar, which we're
working on. Can you believe that we work on it right now?
Yeah, it's in production right now for next year.
Because August is like 2 seconds away, you guys.
I'm already kind of late on it. But anyway, I think July 10th, a few Saturdays ago, was Teddy Bear Picnic Day. which is a thing. We didn't make that up. And this is her teddy bear picnic. And she has the, I'm trying to think if that's a panda. That's my artwork on there. Is that the pillow or is that a piece of artwork? I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell.
My artwork ends up on a lot of fun, different things. And
did you guys ever have a teddy bear picnic, like as a kid?
No.
Okay.
No, but you said you had
we had a record, and it was like the small records, and I remember it specifically because we carried our Fisher Price record player around, and that was one of my favorite ones. And the song, I can still hear it. And of course, as a kindergarten teacher, we had teddy bear picnics. That's part of our curriculum. So that's it's a big deal. It's
required.
Yes.
Yeah. But as part of this Adultitis Fighters segment, we wanted to shine the light on some advice that we've gotten over the years from fellow Adultitis Fighters in this very helpful and rousing edition of Fab 5.
Yes, these are 5 of our past award-winning Adultitis Fighters. We do award an Adultitis Fighter of the Month every single month. We've been doing it for several years. So these are kind of some...
By the way, this month is Martha Henderson, who is on here tonight. So she will be getting her award very soon.
Congratulations, Martha.
But yeah, we asked this question, what's your strategy for dealing with people who are obviously infected with adultitis? And get some good responses. Mike Baugher here says, run. Run. Which is kind of a more fun way of what I said at the end of the monologue is just like, get out of the situation. But he does say when that's not an option, I focus on making them laugh or at least at ease.
So that's a nice way to word that. Yes. And we got to work with Mike at a speaking event years ago and then again for a virtual event. Just 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he continues to fight adultitis, and I always love to see what you're up to. So thanks for your example, Mike.
Yes. Then we got Carol here.
Oh, I miss Carol.
Also says, honestly...
This is at a summit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is a summit picture. I run from them. Try to avoid them at all costs. The Danny and Debbie Downers. OMG, get them out of your life. Negativity and conforming to be a drab adult kills me. I have a lot of them working with me in a high school, and it drives me crazy. That's why I surround myself with the coolest and most fun students and staff. They join me during their lunch hour or after school. They know my room is always cheerful. I greet them with tenderness, and I always have snacks.
Aww.
When in doubt, have snacks, right?
Right. You will attract awesome people with snacks. And Carol, can I just say something about Carol?
I suppose.
When we first met Carol and her mom, who I'm not saying how old she was, but she is...
you can do the math.
Yes, do the math. And they both had pink streaks in their hair, and that's all you need to know. Like, these are amazing examples of Adultitis Fighters. All right, what do we have? Shelley. Oh.
Queen of the Pajama Run. She heard about the Pajama Run, and she does it.
I think they're on
every
year 11?
11 years in a row.
12?
At least.
As a big group.
They do it at the end of the year with all the kids at school, and it's epic.
Taking it, to a whole new level.
She says, I like to invite others to participate in upcoming activities to encourage them to have fun and make some memories with us. If I am unable to assist them in their battle, I try offering genuine sympathy. Sometimes people really don't see a way out of their self-defined, miserable, grown-up life. And for that, I am genuinely sad for them.
Aww.
This is another situation where it's important to remember my own choices. Seeing someone in that battle does not mean I have to become caught up in their struggle. I can support them or offer them sympathy without needing to unnecessarily take on anyone else's challenges.
Wow.
Great reminder.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of what we talked about at our mastermind this past week about parenting teenagers. Don't get in the seat next to them on the roller coaster, but let them ride it. And in her case, as Shelley's saying, like, be of support to them, but you don't have to take the journey with them either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point. Mm-hmm. Dan Paulsrud, avoid them as much as possible. When they need to be in my life, I keep in mind where they are at. If there's any way I can bring a smile to their face. Sometimes it's having a real conversation, asking good questions, just being a good listener. They could be feeling stuck in a place they don't want to be in. It's important to understand why and how people get into their slumps and dumps. Then they usually turn around knowing that you know where they're at. They will treat you better knowing that you know and understand. However, it's important you don't let them suck you into their vacuum of misery and adultitis, because they will try. Adultitis loves company.
Oh, Slumps and dumps. I love his choice of words there.
That's pretty good.
And his listening, we know Dan enough to know that he is practicing what he preaches on that. Yep. So, very cool, Dan.
Then we've got Jim Kramer. Last but not least, he says, my strategy for dealing with people who are infected with adultitis is to listen to them, to be a good role model, ask how I can help in case they need an invitation, and maybe invite them to join in a fun activity. It's like when someone is sick with a cold. You can't just tell them to be well. You have to take care of them. Bring soup, tissues, things like that. And I love that. Like you can't just be like, you just snap out of it. You have to take care of them in the best way that you can. Great.
And as a former teacher, I think middle school, does that seem right?
I think he was a middle school teacher. Yeah. Older elementary maybe.
Right. Definitely years and years of practice doing that and just relating to where his students were. And now he takes care of adults in all new ways. So, Jim, you are always a light. Thank you for shining so bright. Aren't these awesome, you guys? Did this kind of, hopefully hearing someone else's voices, people in our community, kind of inspire you to kind of take on this challenge in a new way?
Just good reminders, right? Good reminders. Sometimes that's what we need to hear. All right, let's do something fun.
Oh, is it time?
It is time for our 3-ring raffle.
Woo! We're not in the car this time.
We've got
a little easier.
We've got more prizes. So last week, we drew our first 3 prizes of the 3-ring raffle, which is something for Wonder and Whimsy Society members. Everyone received a red box in the mail in July, a few weeks ago. Yes. And in that box had 3 blue tickets. And now is the time where we're going to reveal 3 more prizes. And if you are watching us live, get your tickets ready. If you're watching the replay, get them ready.
All right, what's the first prize?
The first prize, we kind of
ready.
This seems appropriate.
Oh yes,
this is a not my circus, not my monkey's tote bag. This is not currently. I don't think this is on the store. I don't think we currently have this for sale. This is a one of a kind. Right now, it's a fun little tote bag.
All right, let's pick a winner. You ready?
Let's go.
Reach in there. Here we go. We need a drum roll. There's a lot of tickets.
All right,
yes.
There you go.
All right, here we go. The winner of the tote bag for Wonder and Whimsy Society is 953372. And I did hear that the first numbers are the same.
Always.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
953. 372 are the last 3 numbers.
All right, make a little note on there so we know that's for the tote bag.
All right.
All right, this next one I'm very excited about. This is going to be a collection, and we don't have the whole shipment here yet, but I think we're going to do a collection of 4 bins of cotton candy.
Like 4 of these?
4 of these.
Okay. All right.
There's we've got some traditional flavors, but these for sure will be in the set.
What do we got?
And this is bacon flavored cotton candy.
Jenna! Get your ticket out, Jenna.
At the very beginning, we had a bunch of people said their favorite part of the circus was cotton candy.
What if you combine bacon and cotton candy?
And then, we've got with it pancake flavored. Maple pancakes and maple syrup flavored cotton candy. And these will come in a box.
Work really well.
With, like I said, some probably more traditional, like maybe a pink or blue or whatever. Okay. But I wanted to mix in some fun ones. So this is gourmet cotton candy from a place called Chocolate Storybook, which is in Iowa. And this is going to be our next prize. 4
right. I was like, do we have a winner? Come on, who's getting the cotton candy? Let's figure it out. It's weird because the logo is like, we're picking from the bowl there.
Right.
Like, what's happening?
We're picking it out of the logo. Here you go.
All right, here you go. Cotton candy winner is 953062.
Sweet.
953062 is the cotton candy winner. All right.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, just give it to us, so we'll eat it for you. All right.
You can just give the board right back. Okay, this next one is epic. I'm excited about this one. This one's big.
Oh, when this came, you guys, came in the mail, they cheered, and then we're like, it's not for us.
This is a nostalgic
Oh, this is
popcorn
so
maker.
Cute.
Sweet.
Is this not the coolest?
Oh, that would be so cute on our counter.
Hot air popper.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the little, I don't know what they call it, little cart.
Yeah, it's like the classic circus cart of popcorn, right?
The only bad thing about getting this as a prize is I didn't want to give it away. Like, it's so cool.
I know. Well, now we see how cool it is. Maybe.
And I love this little picture of the kids.
People are loving this, by the way. Draw me! OMG! Draw me!
Pretty cool.
I know.
All right. So that's the thing. We were trying to figure out, like, with the Wonder and Whimsy boxes of, like, what else could we do that's cool? And we're like, we could do epic prizes and do drawing of stuff.
Because we wanted to send one of these to everybody. Let's be honest. That's how. But the budget's blown.
Budget does not allow for that.
No.
But it does allow to do cool things like this, and so we will definitely be doing more of this.
The winner of the epic popcorn amazing cart is.
There we go.
Here we go.
That's the one.
Drum roll. We need a drum roll button. All right. 953. You ready? 013. 953-013. And that is for the popcorn. I'm curious if anyone's winning live.
Well, we'll see.
I know. It sounds like Paul just missed the cotton candy.
So close.
So close. If only, right? So next week.
Well, we're doing this one more time.
Yes.
It's a 3-ring raffle. So that was our second ring. We got one more ring next week, but it's going to be another kind of probably a fun-sized show because I will be on a plane hovering over the Midwest somewhere during the show.
Yes, next week the kids and I will be hosting a fun-size edition of Escape Adulthood Live. If you have any ideas for us, my brain's a little full with summit details. I'm dealing with catering and all that good stuff. So seriously, I would love to hear, what do you guys want to see next week? We're just going to push live and have some fun. So if you have any fun ideas for us, we would be open to that. And of course, we'll be drawing the last 3 of the 9 winners for the Wonder Woman.
Wait till you see next week.
Oh, I can't even remember what it is.
It's good.
Somebody tell me what it is.
Ooh, I got one more thing I have to share.
Text me what it is.
One more thing I have
Rachel,
to share. First of all, let's do this. Let's get our giveaway going because we got a giveaway for everyone. So our typical giveaway. Let's get to that. Okay, so we're going to do our traditional giveaway with our $10 gift card to the lemonade stand, good for anything on our store. And the question you have to ask, this is only for the live crowd.
Okay.
If you were in the circus, what job would you most like to have? Ooh. Could be anything. So put that in the chat. That's your entry, and we'll see what happens. But I wanted to mention something cool that happened today. So one of the cool items that everyone got in the July mystery mailing this month was these rad socks. Oh, yes. And these, I custom designed these. Now, I have done T-shirts before, but I have never designed clothes like that. Like I'm a legit fashion designer. Process, And you can see that we've got the monkeys, the barrel of monkeys. The colors are amazing.
And they're soft. I like them. Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing is we upgraded to not the crappy novelty.
The airport socks that you're like, oh, those are cute.
Soft.
And they're like, ew, they're cardboard. Yeah.
So these are limited edition socks, and they are now available on the lemonade stand in the members only Wonder and Whimsy Society store. Mm-hmm. We have a very limited number remaining. So if you want any for kind of Christmas or birthdays or whatever,
before they're gone. This is for Wonder Whimsy only, right?
Yep. So I was so excited. Kim was a very gracious foot model today, so I could get pictures and get that up there.
Yes.
So those are a lot of fun.
I forget who said it, but Jennifer maybe said maybe next week we can do Let's Draw with us, me, and the kids.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
So we could do it with paper. We could definitely have some fun with that. Yeah. So I'm sure the kids
probably have their kind of go-to things.
Yes, they do. I have my F-Dog. I do have an F-Dog.
You haven't lived if you haven't drawn the F-Dog, let me tell you.
We're doing the F-Dog next week, you guys. It's like a go-to drawing. Starting with the letter F, it turns into a dog. Tune in next week. You don't want to miss this.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. How about horse trainer?
Ooh, Martha, that's kind of perfect for you. Yes.
Sharon wants to be the gypsy fortune teller. That's her favorite part. Yep.
Full circle here, you guys.
Face painter.
Aw, that's perfect.
Lion tamer, Helen. Aw. Hey, Catherine, how about acrobat?
Ooh,
acrobat's fun.
Very fun, Catherine.
Similarly, Heather Smart is in as the trapeze artist.
We got some daring viewers tonight, don't we?
Christy's, talk about daring. How about taking care of the tigers?
It's just like big cats,
Siegfried and Roy.
Right? Yeah.
What else?
Nice.
Another trapeze artist, Mary Beth.
So adventurous.
Paul's like, I'm going to be the ringmaster.
Oh.
I could see Paul with the big top hat. It'd be great.
And even his profile picture kind of has that vibe going.
Hello, Anita. Hey. Anita is going to be a clown. She'd be the clown.
So playful. That's perfect. Good to see you tonight.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That's awesome.
How about the sweeper?
Oh.
Sweeper. Or Ellen. Ellen's with that. By the way, Ellen's going to be at the summit. In a couple weeks. We'll see her. Poop Scooper.
Hey, me and Lucy have a lot of practice doing that with the horses, don't we?
Yeah. Elle says the person that picks volunteers from the crowd. Is that a job?
Oh, that would be a good job for you, Elle. I would totally see that.
Good. Mora. Get her up. Hi, Mora. Trapeze artist.
Hey.
It's another good trapeze artist. Get a lot of we get them all together. You know how they always have like the flying credenzas or the.
There's always a name.
We gotta get all these trapeze artists and acrobats, and then we'll come up with a cool name.
Right.
Pam can be a part of that. Aerial flyer.
I think that next, actually one of our One Day Whimsy Society members has some circus background. And she kind of offered to do something in person. Wouldn't that be so cool? Yeah. It's like aerial arts kind of stuff, you guys.
Lynn's going to be the cotton candy maker. I will be the cotton candy eater.
I think Paul will be too. You guys can eat together.
Yeah. Jennifer mentions that she loves the socks. That's very nice of you.
Thank you.
Kara wants to be in charge of the circus dogs.
Right.
Mary is.
Seeing it all come together, guys.
Mary's cool with washing the elephants.
See?
I saw that once. I was at the zoo with one of the kids at the elephants, and they were washing out their feet and cleaning out their feet and stuff like that. That was quite a job. How
big are their feet?
Yeah, there's no joke. They get a lot of stuff in there.
Huh.
Jen. How's Jen doing?
Hey,
Greeter / ticket taker, saying hello to everyone.
Right? Everybody's so happy at the circus.
I know.
Right?
Hildy's going to be the person shot out of the camera.
That's awesome.
Kate, cleanup crew, so I can watch the circus, enjoy the look on everyone's faces.
That's
good
fun.
Stuff.
That's a good idea. You can actually participate.
There's another. Yeah, I like that. I love that. We're getting a little bit more creative now.
I know.
Thinking out of the box.
Actually, I put a braid in a horse's mane the other day.
Really?
Did I tell you that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it was a very unique experience. It was very thick. It kind of feels like my hair. like hay.
Hair.
Yeah.
Snow cone maker. Snow cone maker.
Oh, that's fun. That would be super fun.
Steve wants to be a clown, but not the creepy kind.
See? And you could pull it off, Steve. You wouldn't be the creepy kind,
Some might wonder, Kelsey.
It's possible. I know. Kelsey,
she might say, is there such a thing as a
But Steve's a nice guy. He can pull this off. Right?
I don't know.
By the way, I know we're going to be talking more about this, and I'll probably mention it next week, but we are only 2 weeks away from opening the doors to the Wonder Whimsy Society again. So not to kind of spoil all that coming, but if you're hearing things about Wonder Whimsy and you're like, well, how do I join? We really are excited to open these doors for 2 to 3 weeks. It's 2.5 weeks, something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's really, I'm pretty sure we're about 98% sure we're only going to do this once a year now.
Yep.
Is that for sure?
Yep.
Okay,
so we did it. Sure. We did it in February, and we
just want to keep it simpler. Yeah. We're going to open it once a year in August. So August 4th. So mark your calendars. If you're getting the Insider, you'll know all about it. So make sure you're subscribed. But that's coming up. So
yes.
It's exciting.
Yeah, so hopefully, if you are not a member, you'll wanna jump on. It's about $35 a month, basically, is what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. I think it's a really good deal. I mean, the masterminds. We just had a mastermind the other day about parenting.
Yeah. Whatever
stage you're in, how to deal with that, and we had so much.
And some
good.
of the best advice in that mastermind was from non-parents. Which I loved.
Surprisingly,
it was so cool
useful.
to get
Good
that
stuff.
Perspective of life. Because we're all kids, by the way. We're all kids of parents. Mm-hmm. So there is perspective no matter what stage of life we're in.
Yep.
So anyway, but yeah, I hope that that is something that obviously we'll be talking more about. And so let us know if you have any questions as it all shakes down.
Yep. Well, that is it for this show, you guys. Until next time, Adultitis Fighter.
Yep. Shine on, spread whimsy, and keep being awesome.